Sounded less like Seth Rollins and more like Drew McIntyre.
Seth Rollins doesn't fit with CM Punk, Roman Reigns, John Cena, and others. Veteran says he is not a heavy hitter. WWE veteran Bubba Ray Dudley has made a bold statement regarding Seth Rollins. He believes Rollins is in the worst position of his career. Rollins is feuding with CM Punk and lost to him on the Raw Netflix premiere. Rollins will cross paths with Drew McIntyre on next week's edition of Monday Night Raw. Speaking on the Busted Open podcast, Bubba Ray Dudley claimed Rollins isn't a heavy hitter and compared him to Punk, John Cena, and Roman Reigns. I'm sorry, but with all these heavy hitters right now, Punk, Cena, Roman, I'm sorry, Seth's character right now doesn't fit into that group, said Bubba Ray Dudley. Sam Roberts thinks Seth Rollins is about to hit the next level. Sam Roberts believes Seth Rollins is entering his Shawn Michaels WrestleMania 11 era. Speaking on the Notsam Wrestling podcast, Roberts stated that nobody is ready to accept Rollins' position as the man of the company. He said, "I agree with that. I was glad I got a chance to make that observation. I firmly believe it. I think it's 100% true. And I was having a conversation with somebody earlier this week and basically saying it's almost starting to feel like Seth Rollins is in his Shawn Michaels WrestleMania 11 era. But at WrestleMania 11, it was almost like we all knew he's Shawn, the man, but we weren't ready to say he's the man. I feel like Seth is right there, and he's about to hit that next level." In 2024, Rollins dropped the WWE World Heavyweight Championship to Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania XL. He later unsuccessfully challenged former champion Damian Priest in his quest to become a two-time champion. The Visionary also played a crucial role in Cody Rhodes' victory over Roman Reigns in the main event of Night 2 of WrestleMania XL. Rollins has also declared himself for the 2025 Men's Royal Rumble match. He will join CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and John Cena. Seth Rollins to form Shield 2.0 with two former WWE World Heavyweight Champions on Raw. Potential twist explored. During the recent episode of WWE Raw, Seth Rollins once again decided to confront CM Punk in the opening segment. The Visionary and the Best in the World exchanged shots, with Rollins calling his loss against Punk last week one of the biggest in his career. Soon, both stars got into another confrontation when Drew McIntyre arrived. Diverting their attention, these developments have sparked speculation about Seth Rollins forming a Shield 2.0 with CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. The possibility arises as Rollins, McIntyre, and Punk are all officially part of the Men's Royal Rumble match. The Scottish Warrior confronted Rollins and Punk to address Rollins calling himself the leader. Despite this, he stepped back when McIntyre needed him against Roman Reigns in WWE. Drew claimed that the original Tribal Chief is once again the most powerful force, and they must stop him. In a potential scenario, if Roman Reigns somehow eliminates Drew, Rollins, and Punk from the 30-man Royal Rumble match, it could lead to a strategic alliance against the OTC. As a fallout, the former Shield member could decide to align with the Scottish Warrior and convince his biggest rival, CM Punk, to join forces. This alliance would have the sole motive of taking down Roman Reigns once and for all. Meanwhile, the OTC already has Ula Fala around his neck and is set to target the undisputed WWE title next. This is why Paul Heyman has confirmed Reigns' entry into the Men's Royal Rumble match. Although this scenario is speculative, it still holds a slim chance of happening, as all these men will be part of the traditional match at WWE Royal Rumble 2025. Seth Rollins engaged in a massive bloodline segment on WWE Raw this week. Following this segment, Rollins was backstage, where he disclosed that he would clash with Drew McIntyre in a singles bout next week. Soon after, Seth entered a segment with Sami Zayn, where the honorary Yus consoled Rollins for his rough time last week. Zayn assured Rollins that he was always available to have a conversation if Seth needed a friend. In response, the Visionary began targeting Sami Zayn, stating that last week was great for him as Roman Reigns got his Ula Fala back. He further mocked Zayn, suggesting that Sami would aid him in winning the Royal Rumble match, and even in dethroning Cody Rhodes as the undisputed WWE champion. The former world champion also advised the Bloodline member to do something for himself rather than just being friends with Roman Reigns. This segment was intriguing, as Sami was seen visiting Adam Pearce's office afterward, seemingly to make his entry official for the Royal Rumble 2025 match. A little bit of jealousy. Seth Rollins reveals his mixed feelings about Cody's victory at WrestleMania, and it makes perfect sense. Few wrestlers have enjoyed a decade of dominance in the WWE quite like Seth Rollins. The summer of 2014 marked the beginning of his solo career after he betrayed the Shield. Fast forward to 2015's WrestleMania, and he'd close out the show of shows as WWE Champion. He's more or less remained a staple of the main event picture since then, but where he lands in the hierarchy might be questionable. In a new interview with Chris Van Vliet, Seth Rollins reflects on his WWE career, and early on he talks about the main event of WrestleMania XL Night 2. Thanks to an alley-oop from Seth Rollins as his Shield, Cody Rhodes ended Roman Reigns' nearly 5-year reign as WWE Champion. As Cody celebrated finishing the story, Rollins watched from afar. In a surprisingly honest statement, Seth admits in his interview that he was watching Cody with probably a little bit of jealousy in his heart. At first glance, it may seem odd of a 5-time world champion to be jealous of Cody's first reign. But when reflecting on Seth's journey, it's understandable why his perspective of never seeing himself as the top guy. Seth Rollins' mixed feelings on WWE WrestleMania XL after carving out a name for himself on the independent wrestling circuit, most notably Ring of Honor. As Tyler Black, Colby Lopez signed with WWE in 2010. Under the name Seth Rollins, Lopez was trained under the developmental system, originally known as Florida Championship Wrestling. He stuck around long enough to see FCW rebranded as NXT, becoming the inaugural NXT champion. Since joining the main roster, he's found immense success on and off camera, but one accomplishment eluded him. In his eyes, WWE never pushed him as the top guy of the company. As he explained to Chris Van Vliet, I had a different experience watching Cody win the title. I felt joy, probably a little bit of jealousy. But, I don't know, I have never really been the guy that's been handed the ball that way. For the last 10 years, it's been Roman for the most part, and then Cody comes back and he gets that treatment as well. And I've always felt like I wanted to be that person and I could be that guy. It just wasn't for me in the eyes of people who were making those decisions. He then proceeds to express that neither Cody Rhodes nor Roman Reigns would be in a position to be the guy without him. Rollins doesn't say this out of spite, but in acknowledging his role in the WWE. In Rollins' mind, he's never been given the WWE's brass ring as much as he's been a role player used to help propel other wrestlers into a higher spotlight. Again, from the outside looking in, such a statement may seem ludicrous from a multi-time world champion in WrestleMania.